Agero, and he's here to tell us about his life, by the way, what he's up to, by the way, at the moment, what he thinks he will be up to in future. And you can just start by informing the public where you're from, your government name. Okay, to know your government name, Yako, but tell us about your journey in rugby generally. Where are you from? Which hood do you represent? We'll talk Mtagani, and how did you end up in rugby?
Yeah, man. Again, thanks, man, for having me, man. Great stuff, man, what you guys are doing.
And
it's a pleasure, man, to share this platform with you. Yeah, so, man, as for me, I'm a simple guy, man. Just happened to play rugby, and rugby happened to love me back. Started my humble journey in a high school, St. Mary's School, Yala. That's where my rugby journey kicked off.
Yes, if you don't know, by the way, now you know St. Mary's Yala, one of the foremost rugby institutions in our country. You could rank them among a group of 5, 6, 7 schools. Maybe I can name them in Western Maseno. St. Mary's Yala. You can go to Kakamega High School. We can go to, in the past, it used to be Bungoma High School, and now there's plenty of names change. When you come to Nairobi, you have Lenana School where I went to. You have St. Mary's School here. You have the likes of RBS. So this is rugby royalty. So once ulifika Yala, there was no chance you were failing in rugby. What makes Yala become, mbona inafanya inatoa ma players hivi, good quality players?
Yeah, man, and I'm really grateful that I went to St. Mary's School Yala, because besides rugby, like it makes men out of young boys, you know. And rugby in our school was how can I explain it? Even our cook could play touch rugby. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, as long as you have
this was a culture.
It was deeply embedded in the school culture. And for me, of course, it was just natural gravitation. My older cousin happened to have played for Black Blood. So, of course, at that time I was really young, but by the time I fell in love with the game, it was just a natural
progression. I mean, Kenyatta University, Black Blood, and, I'll take you back to high school. Tell us if you had anything that could stop you. What's the only thing that could stop you from achieving your goals in high school? Because we face a lot of this as young men, by the way, and you are deterred from your goals thanks to other issues that exist circumstantially, inaweza kwa kupenda kwako or not. What ensured you got the focus? Nini likusaidia ukaweza kuenda through with this idea of rugby past high school and to where you are?
Yeah, I think for me it's just from a young age, just understanding and appreciating the holistic development of myself, to be specific. And for me, my advice to any young man out there, sports, besides it being an extracurricular activity, it fills up a lot of your idle time. Yeah, because I have friends who, of course, turned out not so well. I have guys who even went and excelled beyond rugby. And the difference is by the time you are sitting down after a rugby training session with guys who had come from maybe taking a walk, I don't know, what always amazed me is the kind of talk we used to have. Yeah, it kind of made us, of course, the conversations are a bit different now, but it laid the foundation of even engaging. Sports did something that a lot of my peers missed out, and we grew up together. So my advice is take up sport, take up anything, not necessarily team sports, but feel that extra time you have with something constructive.
100% time, by the way. Too much time in your hands, as they say, is the devil's room, as they call it. Now, Yala imeisha. You've gone through St. Mary's Yala, club rugby. So explain to us the transition umemaliza Form 4. You've gone to a club, whichever club this is, you can explain to the public. And then how was it, the culture, kuingia, how was it different? And then you get to a point where you have to work. How is the work-life balance at the club level? So tuanzie clubs zenye umechezea.
So for me, my club story is short because I've only played for one club. Yeah, I started my club career at Kenya Harlequins under the able hands and guidance of Charlie Kadovilis. Yeah, and for sure, I wouldn't wish to have gone to any other club. Because as a young guy, as a young 17, 18-year-old kid, in fact, my first day there, my really good friend from Lenana, Mike Onsando, we're just sitting in the changing room. Man, big up to Mike. We are sitting in the changing room, just looking at each other, man. This is our first day here. And that day, I've never forgotten it. Because besides whatever we did on the field, how the camaraderie in the clubhouse after, the people I got to meet, some and most who became my mentors, a lot of relationship that I built there. It's just my journey started off well, and right now I can say for sure I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah, I know.
But it hasn't ended, because from an 18-year-old being called up to the national team, excelling in what you're doing, the transition after playing, coaching, you know. So for me now, I'm a coach, but besides coaching, there's a reason I'm here also. Yeah. The other side of the sport.
The other side of the sport, yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur right now with a really keen interest in sports entertainment and innovation in that field. Being an athlete, I've played amateur sports. Yeah. Really difficult for an athlete, because the commitment is the same.
I mean, and we will get to that, you know, because when you play at sevens level, generally, especially for Kenyans, I mentioned you are mostly balancing a job and club rugby, and you're playing against guys who are professionals, New Zealand, Australia, England. Tell us about that difference. You know, when you end up on the pitch, you say the effort is the same. So tell us about, you know, that whole idea that you're facing people who are pros when you are doing several things at the same time.
Yeah, of course, and of course, Eliud Kipchoge, I think this is his, how do you call it?
his slogan. Mantra,
He says, no human is limited. And at the end of the day, the limitation is in the mindset. No one is limited when you look at it that way. So besides the struggles, by the time we realized this is what it takes to compete with them, and we started walking that journey, you forget you've not been paid, you forget how much you make. Once you step onto that field, it's a privilege to just compete first. Because at the end of the day, giving your all against someone who you know has been brought up and raised in this game, and you can match up, it's rewarding in itself.
It's actually rewarding at a personal level that you can compete with people who are remunerated and taken care of better than you are. And talking about, you know, generally your rugby journey and facing some of these big sides, and, you know, traveling, Ulianza at an 18 years old, generally, you know, at the national team level. Tell us about that, getting your first cap and how it was generally transitioning kuchezea kwa national team. And when you go out there, outside the country, you know, for your first time, explain to us your first trip outside the country with the national team. How was it like? Tuambie tu experience ilikuwaje?
Yeah, so in fact, my first call up again, massive thanks to Charlie, because as an 18-year-old, Charlie was the one who took us in, taught us the ropes, the ins and outs of club rugby. Might come in as a good 18-year-old player, but club rugby is different, man. Yeah. And at that time, my first call up, it was after the local sevens local circuit. At that time, Benjamin Aimba was the coach. Came for one of the training sessions. So what we could do is like, maybe you can join the training group, not the team. But
the big boys,
my first introduction, in fact, it's a very funny story. The day we're traveling, we reached the airport, man, and I had to stay behind. The name and the ticket and my name,
different.
They're different. I had to go back home. Oh,
disappointing.
Not disappointed really, but you're like, you know, you can get this close and not actually
not actually go.
Yeah, but it was interesting. So I had to follow the team. In fact, my first time I traveled alone, which was interesting, and it was in Namibia. Yeah. And I remember the tournament started at night. You know how hot it can get there.
Yes.
And my first touch of the ball, I was really excited to go. I think I stepped on the ground too hard. I fell down right on the spot.
Oh man!
But that moment gave me, like, that's when all the pressure, like,
finally just went out. Yeah, your stomach was feeling hot, butterflies as they call it, eh?
Yeah,
Tension,
over excitement. You know, you just want to show what you've got.
Yeah, what you can do.
But it was it's an interesting story for me, and from there, man. The rest is history, man. Yeah.
So tell us about you playing and then stopping playing. I know that happened. You know, you can explain to us why, generally, and tell us your transition. How difficult or easy it was to make that transition in the circumstances.
100%. And it was interesting for me. My first appearance in a HSBC game was I got injured in that game. Yeah, we had a real nice play with William Baka. Unfortunately, that was my last game in that tournament. I had to come back home. I had to undergo a procedure. They had to fix my shoulders. It's a common injury in rugby, you know.
Yeah.
So of course, from that time, just coming as a new guy coming in, your injury setback, it was challenging, but I was blessed at that time. Mike Friday and his assistant, his name was Chris Brown, were really focused, and they gave me the attention that was needed. And because the season started in December, I think. Next year, by the time we were going for the June World Cup, I had recovered and I made the team to go to the World Cup. So for me, it was a bittersweet moment, because I'm just starting, then I'm getting this injury, man. You know, it plays one on you. But at the end of the day, I must appreciate at that time the environment was being set properly, and the care and attention to anyone who was dropping off was top
notch. So fantastic. But they're big up to all those people by there who manage our players, because there's aspects that people don't understand. Ukiona tu mchezaji on the pitch or wherever they're playing, you don't understand the backstory. There's injuries. There's so much management that is needed to take care of players, timing, nutrition, and just small things. So big up to everyone who does their part in taking care of our players. Tell us about injury. How is injury recovery? How is your day normally? You're injured, you're not playing. How does it work for you, morning to evening? Ukiamka asubuhi, what do you do?
Yeah, you know, and it's actually interesting. I have a friend who's still playing. He just underwent a procedure on Monday, this past Monday. And he reminded me of that time, you know.
Yeah.
And because of course he's an active guy, you know, he's someone who always has something to do. But now I see him, he has to sit at home, you know. You have to slow down for a bit until you can actually, you know, you have to heal first before you can actually even start to,
you know, even
strengthen or think of anything else. You have to heal. So that comes with you actually really slowing down your whatever you're doing. And of course that's difficult, because now the question is, how's your support system? Who's around you? What else do you do besides the sport? Do you have any other hobbies besides the sport? Because now that's not it.
Now your choices really come into focus when you're injured, eh?
Yeah. So, but the good thing also, it makes you think about things you've not thought about before. For me, I'd say I've gone for the procedure twice, and especially the second time, I think this gave me it was the shift I needed, because it made me realize I'm more than a rugby player.
I like the sound of that, by the way. More than a rugby player.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something earlier on that is very important, and I think we normally ignore, even gloss over it generally in life, is the mental aspect of a human being and what counts really, and in where we go in life. Because if your mental is wrong, and you spoke about what when you're around you, people who are around you, your team, your company, they do count a lot. And I've read stories of players who don't have support systems and they struggle with injuries perennially, and you wonder what's going on with this player. So injuries really are a major part of the sport, and mental space is absolutely important. Let me question you on, now you've returned from injury, now you're back to the pitch. Day one, how does it feel, umepona? Is there a mental
100%? Of course, that's the biggest challenge. The physical recovery is one part, but now recovering beyond the trauma that happened, because the thought is it going to happen again? So that might deter you from pushing yourself to 100, committing where you need to commit 100%. So definitely that played a very big part in my coming back. But slowly you start to relearn these things, get back into the fold, and within no time, it's as if it never happened.
Yeah, so interesting. And when I speak to my friends, and we talk about professional players in sport, and why they're paid more than the normal the normal career, if you like, and there's a lot of mental strength recovery. There's a lot of humanity involved in becoming a professional player. So it's great to hear this insight from you. Now your playing career is over. You can tell people, first of all, we can start with your achievements generally. You've traveled to several places in the world representing Kenya. So we can start from there and then move on to what you do now, generally when you're not playing. So tell us about your achievements. You've been umeenda Olympics, umeenda wapi. Where have you been? You've played in the HSBC 7 series. Tell us.
Yeah, someone once told me, man, people need to talk about your achievements, not you.
Yes, your achievements.
But of course, for me, I just come from a place of gratitude, because trust me, there are people who are, I believe, even better than me, who maybe didn't get the opportunity. I've had friends who missed the cut. We're in the same team and they missed the cut, and I know how good they are. So with that said, I think I just appreciate the diversity of places I've been. From a place like Tokyo, Japan, just having an opportunity to walk around the towns and just see immerse in their culture, going to a place like Russia where things are a bit different. You're given an advisory, don't leave your hotel room.
Wow.
You go to a place like the US, where they're very liberal. You're on an elevator and someone is smoking weed, maybe. So just the diversity of all the destinations I've been around, man, I'm only grateful. And if I can tie it to what I'm doing now, this is what, for me, I'm blessed, because I didn't just go as a rugby player. I'm very observant by nature. And what I was trying to observe is, what's the difference? Why are they professional and we are not? Why can they live off it and we can't? What are they doing differently? Going to these destinations, seeing how fans experience the game, seeing how value is being delivered, how everything connects. It was just amazing to see. And for me, I always believe it only takes you knowing how to do it well for you to start doing it. So for me, coming back home, and I have a background in IT. So coming back home, I was just trying to look at how can I address some of the challenges I faced and we are still facing, given the trajectory innovation is taking, especially here in Kenya. So that's what helped me transition to what I'm doing now.
So 100%. So generally, do you train nowadays at all?
100%. I've been. I'll be honest. I took some time away. Just trying to get your body back to normal. I took some time. But one of my really good friends is a personal trainer also, besides being a strength and conditioning coach, William Baka. We've been back at it, yeah. I'd say we are going into our second week.
Yeah. And by the way, Willie, you were supposed to be here, by the way.
Yeah,
we'll have you next time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So besides my personal training, I'm still training, but I'm still coaching. And right now what we're doing, I'm coaching as a vocation.
Where exactly are you coaching? At Queens?
At Kenya Harlequins, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a really interesting set of coaches now. People we play together with. People who, our head coach Patrice Agunda, experienced the game in different aspects. Recently as a coach, he went as an understudy. He was in camp with Eddie Jones in Japan through the DBA program. So we have an interesting set of coaches, and what we want to do is like trying to, besides coaching, how can we set an environment that can help these kids realize their potential in and outside the field.
100%. I like the fact that you're involved with the future of our sport and nurturing the younger kids. And I know you. One of the things I'm sure you face a challenge with is convincing parents to bring their children over to rugby, because you have extremely talented players and maybe even sizable players, but their parents are just out of it. So
that's actually interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have an academy. There's a kids academy we run from Kibera, Jamhuri area. And of course we had a challenge. Sometimes, every family is different.
Yeah.
You might have a game on Saturday, maybe guys are in church. You might have a game on Sunday, maybe that's the day.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is when we sat with the parents, we asked them, hii rugby naweza somesha mtoto wako.
Yeah.
Sisi si hatutaki mambo ya kanisa manini. But can the church also take on that responsibility? Can they do it? Can they actually do it? Because through rugby, a lot of our kids are getting scholarships.
Yeah.
Guys are studying. Guys are getting opportunities abroad. So our question is, ours is not just getting the kid to play. Yeah, because especially when you deal with kids from underprivileged backgrounds, rugby is a way out.
Yeah.
It's, right now, rugby is amateur in Kenya. We can call it that, but there are kids out there who that's their way out.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard to convince the parents once they see it from that perspective. And they're like, actually, you guys you're making sense, a lot of sense. Maybe we'll try see how we'll work it out, but you're making sense. So,
and I like the conversation we've had, because I think generally our sporting, fraternity has struggled with the money aspect, and even when we speak about rugby generally, we really do need investment in rugby. We need more people to come join in. We need corporates. We need, well-wishers, whoever can pull in a few shillings, whoever can pull in something to come in and help the game of rugby grow. Queens. Tell us the plans for Queens, by the way, this season. I know there's been lots of stories in there. Before we move to Safari Sevens, tell us, Queens, the 15th season is just about to begin. Sevens haikuenda vizuri sana, as we know. Tell us about Queens generally and as a club. Is the club healthy? And what is the plan for the future?
So, as for Queens, I'd say, of course, everyone knows whatever has been happening at the club.
Yeah.
But for us, we take that as we want to take that as the first building block.
Yeah.
Because it's not only Queens that's affected.
Oh yeah. Maybe Queens is in the news, but we know generally there's a cash crisis.
Yes. And Queens, the reason we got to that position is because we tried to change the model a bit. So we tried to see what can be done to get players here, maybe to commit a bit, maybe more, getting them earlier. But the truth was that model couldn't work, because we couldn't rob the player 6 hours of his time. We couldn't train at 2 o'clock. So right now the club had to sit down, rethink the model. And we said, how about we focus on the holistic development of the individual who passes through here. Because Queens, I'll be honest, as a club, there's a lot of people I know who are a success and didn't enjoy that success as players, which is actually interesting to But now with that reality, now how do you want to approach it this time round? So our focus is on player development, and besides that, as we develop your game, we want it to go hand in hand with your the other half, you know, be it school, be it job placement, mentorship programs, because we have a very diverse and large network, but of course that's just the start.
That's the start, Queen. So it's been fantastic to hear that that's actually what the club is about, because, you know, there's lots of stories that go around on social media which are unverified. So it's nice to hear from someone within the club, you know, the approach that's being taken generally to improving matters in rugby. So I'll take you to Safari Sevens before we finalize. Safari Sevens in Endelea Saizi. You know, of course, you know, you expect our national team to do well. You've played there before. So tell us about Safari Sevens. I don't know if you participated in Safari Sevens, and if you did, what is your experience like? Tuambie kidogo.
Yeah, man, Safari Sevens, man, that's always it's the big one, man. Trust me, playing outside in those different platforms and arena is nice, but it's different when you're playing in front of your home fans. It's just different. And of course, I've played a couple of Safari Sevens. I think I've won 2. And man, those are memories I can't trade for nothing, man. Because at the end of the day, besides the competition, because you're fighting for a spot in the HSBC series, but it's always nice to actually play in front of your friends, in front of your families, in front of your fans. It just have a different spice to it.
100% to perform at home. As they say, home is always best. So thank you for Aiden Agero, by the way, for having us, you know, taking your time to actually come to studio. I know, you know, time is normally tight for you guys. So just a parting shot generally to the public, you know, and, you know, rugby is a game that is sort of, in my opinion, misunderstood in a way. There's this idea that rugby is a rich man's sport, it's a rich game and all that, but the reality on the ground is different. So, you know, there's lots of new fans out there, there's lots of new people who'd like to be interested in watching the local matches, you know, and getting involved in rugby. What's the idea? What can you tell a person who's never attended a rugby match? What next? You know, what is there to enjoy?
And that's first of all, man, that's a super question, man. Super question. Because besides the attempt to answer it, it encapsulates like you paint a really good picture of what we are up against.
Yes.
I'll start by this, How many sports do you consume, you yourself?
I consume everything. I consume basketball, football, rugby. Okay, I'm the wrong person to ask this question, but I get you.
Yes. That me too. I'm a rugby player. I watch basketball. I watch NFL. I watch golf.
Everything. Tennis.
So we can call ourselves we're liberal fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if we are offered a high quality game or footage or content, we will consume. Now, tying into what I do now, our idea is how can we turn sports teams, athletes into content publishers in a way that can be monetized. Because right now, there is rugby, but we don't have an ecosystem. I have friends who are kit manufacturers. I have a friend, Laila Siligwad, really doing some good stuff in the development side, DBA. I have a friend in the tech world doing some crazy things, but these things are not connected. So how we're planning on addressing this, we're like, how can we popularize the game first? Because the difference between rugby and football ni ya kila mtu.
I mean, as we said, there's this idea that rugby is iko it's ni watu tu fulani.
And that's the notion I think we want to not necessarily break, because we need to rugby. Even if someone thinks we're big, we can be bigger. But I don't think we're big enough. We're not big enough. And I'd say, looking at more, we compete, we are competitors, but we can learn from each other. Learning from football and how they do it. you cannot disregard the common man. Yes, we might say rugby is an elite sport. We'll say 800 at the gates.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll get guys. But is it accessible for everyone who wants to come? Or are we making rugby for someone who can afford to come?
I see you.
So that's part of it. The other part is through our connection of ex-players and coaches. We want to popularize the game by teaching the game. I am in Kenya Harlequins, but a lot of the stuff I do is for the general good. I share it with everyone. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you look at KCB and Cabras and Oilers. They might be sustainable, but how do you feel being king in a place of
full of dwarfs,
cripples and dwarfs?
Yeah, I see you.
So at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of everyone. But at the end of the day, we should focus on the fans first. So our angle is simple: how can we improve fan engagement? How can we improve our distribution? How whatever we are, because it's funny that we don't get broadcasting. We don't get to broadcast 100% of our games.
Crazy.
It's detrimental
crazy.
to the growth of any sport.
In fact, I recall really the Kenya Cup. They just ended Cabras Kenya Cup win. I remember throughout the semis, quarters to the final, getting footage or even watching the match is, it's not on any broadcaster you can really find. So it's, I think the final was on YouTube. So, but I get your point, where's the broadcasting deals that can, take the message of rugby to the fans all over the country.
And we can't sit from a position of we're waiting for help, For that big blockbuster broadcaster to come, every team needs to build their own audiences. I think we should really, really insist.
That's key.
That's key. Build your own fandom, build your own community. Let's help each other. Different teams, let's help each other build each other's communities. And when we come together, trust me, magic will happen.
Magic will happen.
Yep.
100%. Yeah. And those are really, deep words here from the man Edin Agero, by the way. Experienced gentleman. He's told you his story, by the way. He's traveled around the world to represent our country. He's Kenyan royalty, if you have a definition for this. So, Edin Agero in studio, thank you for coming in. Prediction for tomorrow, by the way, Safari Sevens. And he's asked you, by the way, my fans, remember, it's all about you, by the way. It's all the idea that you have to come out and support the game and make an imprint in the game. It starts with one person. It goes to a second, third, and then 1 million people. So that's the idea. The fans, we have to invest in our game. We have to come out. There's a great opportunity at the Safari Sevens at Nyayo National Stadium. It's newly revamped now. So kuna viti, there's no issues. There's ample parking. You are most welcome. I remember Charles Kadovili telling us earlier on that there were around 5,000 people at Nyayo National Stadium. We can do more. Nyayo has a 19,000 capacity. Let us support our sporting heroes. Eden, final prediction, Kesho. Is Kenya carrying it?
Shuja all the way, man.
Shuja
all the way. Shuja all the way.
Shuja, pressure for you from one of your legends here in studio to win tomorrow. Hey, you better do that for Edin Agero. So anyway, it's a real pleasure to have you in studio. We'll be back, by the way, for a final catch-up with Charles Kadovilis, who is at Nyayo National Stadium on the day's recap before we let Eden go. And then we'll do a quick roundup of what's going on in the world of sport before we disappear. Trisha Wayua, I've seen her cross through my window screen here. She is alive for the Generation Report that starts at 7 p.m. So we'll be right back here on the Sport Garage. It's been Edin Agero, Kenya Sevens aficionado, national team player, and now taking care and nurturing the future generations of rugby players. So, makofi kwako.
Asante,
it's a real pleasure to have you in studio here on the Sport Garage. We will have more and more and more of their types coming. By the way, today, a very serious football manager let me down, but you know what? He has apologized. So we will have more of these great individuals, great talents, great Kenyans here on the Sport Garage every week, and we will not stop. So we'll be right back with Charles Kadovelis, and we'll be saying bye-bye to Eden Agero and the fandom here on the Sport Garage.